Both the Spurs and Knicks are in San Antonio, as is our guy, senior reporter here, NBA writer, who has been covering this entire series for us. What's up, Vince Goodwill? Great to see you, as always. You just sat down with Josh Hart, actually. What was your takeaway from that interview?
Well, the takeaway was that the game on Wednesday night, it was still something that's sticking with these guys. It's certainly sticking with Josh Hart. Remember that play where he missed the breakaway layup and he got down on himself? He sat down on the floor, about 1 minute and 30 seconds left, and his teammates came over to pick him up. He said, "Get your ass up. We still got 1 minute and 30 seconds left to finish this game." He said it was all a blur. He walked off the floor with the game ball. That could be a very valuable piece of memorabilia. He said he doesn't have it. He was just trying to comprehend all that was going on, all that had just happened. He said he still haven't been able to put the pieces together. And as for tomorrow night, being in a position to clinch a championship on the road, he said, you can't even allow yourself to go that far and think that far away. We have to concentrate on one possession. We don't want to find ourselves in a spot where if we think too far ahead, we'll be down 3-3 and in a Game 7 situation.
I know that's right. All right, Vince, you're all over it. I'm going to let you go so you can focus in on everything. Always appreciate you. Both teams were on the mic today. Let's head out and hear what the players had to say.
I think whenever you win or lose a game that night, you're going to think about it. Think about the things that you've done well or what you did wrong. And I've always told myself that when you wake up the next day, it's time to turn the page. And so, yes, we won, but we still have a lot of work to do. We still have a lot to learn. We did not play our best basketball.
Does it feel like you guys are one step away from a championship, or even different than the other games in the finals?
0-0.
Yeah, that has been the onus the entire series as we welcome in Kendrick Perkins now with us. Perk, how do the Knicks close this out?
So it's gonna be two things. Number one, they got to be ready to get their feet hot from a physicality standpoint. That has to happen. We know the Spurs are going to throw everything at them, including the kitchen sink. They got to be ready to play a physical game, root for one another, especially when things are not going for you individually. I got a chance to holler at Jay Wright, the legend, when I was in Madison Square Garden after Game 4. And he walked up to me and he said, "Big Perk," he said, "Listen, Jalen Brunson has been built, he's built for this." When I recruited him when he was in Chicago out of high school, what made me get him to Villanova is I went and watched a game where it was 4,000 people going against him, and the man came out and dropped a 50-piece wing dinner, all flats. And he did that. And he said, man, he's built for this. He has the composure, he has the mentality, and he has the leadership. Right now, Jalen Brunson is displaying that he's one of the best leaders in the game of basketball. The way that he has the mentality to attack, it's a shot that he does not like. It's not a moment that he does not embrace. And he's going to have to continue to lead in order for them to close this series out.
How do the Knicks close this out? 3 words: cool, calm, collected. They just, as Perk said, have to keep their composure, because if you think about the San Antonio Spurs, they're 3-7 this postseason in clutch time. They are losing games on their own. A lot of self-inflicted wounds that we have seen, whereas the Knicks, they have the experience, they have the poise, and most importantly, as Perk alluded to, they have the personalities. It's not just Jalen Brunson, it's that guy right there. He hit or tipped in probably what Knicks would say the shot of the half century to hopefully get them potentially an NBA championship. And he said, "Oh yeah, that was exciting. I'm excited." Blank face. Blank. What? How does this happen? And so you look at the demeanor of not just Jalen Brunson, but also OG Anunoby and also Josh Hart and these guys that are brothers and have won through chemistry and brotherhood. If the game is close, they feel like that's exactly where they need to be. Right. So just making the right reads, showing the experience, showing the sacrifice. Karl-Anthony Towns has had huge moments in this postseason. He's had triple doubles in the playoffs, but instead, Karl-Anthony Towns is like, "Oh, that's the hot hand. What do you need me to do?" The sacrifice involved, it's all of the intangibles that can potentially close out the series for New York.
I think that mentality starts with Jalen Brunson. He's as stoic as anyone. All right, the Spurs have 5...
sense of whether or not the group actually thinks they can pull this off.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, everybody knows we're going to do it. But I don't know if I agree with you. I feel like we need to isolate that one game and take it one game at a time. I think it'd be a mistake to waste our energy on different, on multiple games. It's one game at a time.
Michael C. Wright is covering the Spurs for us. Great to see you, Michael. Hey, how are the Spurs handling the emotions of that loss while also preparing to lock in for Game 5?
Well, I got to tell you, I was in that locker room after the game, and it was the quietest I've ever seen the Spurs locker room. Heads down, almost silent. Somebody's phone flew across the room out in frustration. Well, imagine giving up that big lead, that 29-point lead, all the raucous celebration after that. Then you take that quiet ride back to the hotel room. You arrive there, and there are New York Knicks fans there. They're banging on the bus. They're heckling them. They're throwing eggs at the San Antonio Spurs. I think one almost hit Victor Wembanyama. Like, really? The great poet and the great poet and philosopher, Jay-Z of New York, once said that you can go to school, but you can't buy class. And I know it ain't no love in the heart of the city, but the San Antonio Spurs are very much motivated by what took place here. That actually scared some of the Spurs families, and as I was told, we don't play that. So there's a lot of motivation to sort of get back on the right track and try to walk this thing down one game at a time.
All right, Michael, drop some bars then. Thanks, Michael, for all of your insight, as always. And just in case you forgot, 38 teams have gone down 3-1 in the NBA Finals. Only one prevailed. The 2016 Cleveland Cavaliers pulled it off against the
my favorite series ever.
73-9 Golden State Warriors, truly. All right, Perk, if you're the Spurs, how do you approach Game 5?
Oh, look. Hey, let me say this to you. Boy, if the Knicks blow this series, we could point the finger to those idiots in New York who has been beating up on people, the San Antonio fan base, and throwing eggs at Wembanyama. I remember when I was with the New Orleans Pelicans, and we was down in New Orleans, and Coach Alvin Gentry, we was playing against LeBron James. And it was a close game. And I remember a fan was just talking noise to LeBron, and Coach Gentry ran over there and was like, hey, man, be quiet. You're not the one that have to deal with him. And that's the same thing that goes to this situation right now. And I understand the fan base is being passionate, but you don't want to add fuel to the fire because you're not the one that's competing between the lines. I think with them throwing eggs at Wemby had just added fuel to the fire, and it's about to make it extremely tough, extremely hard for the Knicks to close this San Antonio team out.
Yeah, I think that you just added more fuel to the fire. There's a reason why it's a series. I know that was a humongous, probably best game ever environment for the city of New York. A lot of those young fans that were in attendance. One, you don't ever disrespect players by, challenging their safety. But now you also potentially are motivating them because it's like, wow, we were disrespected not only on the floor because we gave up a comeback, but we're also disrespected in some regards by the city and the fans. And so now it's like a get right pride game. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go back home. We're going to take all of these lumps and all of these losses and motivate ourselves to show people who we really are. It's the response that will tell us a lot about the Spurs, not just for this series, but also the years to come.
Yeah, it's what we call bulletin board material.